We're doing this video because we want to share the truth about our US road trip. We also want to share some of the costs behind it.
And let you know our plans of us buying an RV in the US.
We've even got some unseen footage.
Like when I accidentally opened the grey and put the water all over a petrol forecourt. So why did we choose to go to America for Christmas this year?
Well, we'd planned to stay local, or at least maybe into Europe or somewhere very close, because my dad was very poorly before Christmas and we wanted to be here for him. Unfortunately, at the beginning of December, he passed away, and staying here just seemed like the most miserable thing to do because he was Mr. Christmas. So instead of doing the same old, we decided to go to the States.
Right, like we did last year, we went to Florida. So this year we decided to do LA. We did the west coast of America about 4 or 5 years ago when we rented an RV. We did LA, Vegas, San Francisco. And last year we did Florida. So this year we figured we'd go back and fly into LA. A big part of that is because the flights into LA were the cheapest. Now, we did LA last time, so this time the idea was to head out to Vegas. We were 2 days before the New Year's Eve, and I heard New Year's Eve celebrations in Vegas are meant to be amazing. So we decided to head out that way, and we made it as far as a Cracker Barrel halfway, didn't we?
Yeah, if you don't know what a Cracker Barrel is, where have you been, first of all, because they are a feature of all of our US trips. Cracker Barrels are old style restaurants, so they're very good at breakfast and steak and eggs, that kind of thing. And they've also got a really oldie-worldy Southern American style shop as well. And a porch. Every single one has a porch with rocking chairs on outside.
The best thing about Cracker Barrels is they have RV parking, and most of them don't mind you staying there overnight, as long as you go and spend a few quid in the shops.
Yeah.
So we got there late, and that was ideal for us. So Cracker Barrels are great, but it is dry camping, it is off-grid. Of course, we've got the generator and we're self-sufficient, but getting 5 people through the shower is no fun thing, and it does use a lot of water. Okay, we ran out of water this morning whilst Eddie was trying to shower. So I've run iOverland and it's found us a water tap just 15 minutes away. So we're gonna head there now, see if we can top up. Good old iOverland done it again. Found me this petrol pump here with a fresh water hose right there. So we're topping it up now, but I did have a little bit of an accident as I pulled the hose out. It pulled on the lever and the grey started coming out. So I better have a little wash before we move on. Could have been worse, could have been the black though. So I thought I was being clever earlier by putting this hose in there ready as soon as I came to the garage to whip it out and whip it on. But pulling it out is what's caught the lever and dropped all the grey. So I'm gonna put it back in the back here. Not doing that again. Gotta love the pumps here, we can just lock it in. Perfect.
Are you being advertised at?
Your account and start saving. Once you're in the club, you'll earn trail points.
Trying to sell me on something while I'm filling up. Now we've got just under half a tank, but I figured whilst I was here using their water, we top up the rest.
And covering their forecourt in grey water.
And covering their forecourt in grey water. Sorry, Maverick.
Whoa, we just had a massive splash flat.
Okay, that is fuel there, that one.
Yeah. Oh,
Sorry, Maverick. Look, let's get the heck out of here before we do any more damage.
We're not meant to be here, are we?
We're not, are we? Come on, let's go.
Any more disasters, my love?
No, but when I was in there was a guy, look my age, buying cigarettes, and he had to show his ID, and the guy had to scan his ID to buy cigarettes.
Wow.
And I said, is that just in Arizona? Apparently it's everywhere, so how about that? Anyway, that was just over half a tank of fuel, and that was $124.54. Right, that's a full tank of gas. The fresh topped up. I guess we just need to well, I've partially emptied the grey already, but I could do with finding somewhere to dump the remaining grey and the black.
Let's get out of this place before anything else happens, because
Honestly,
it's not lucky.
oh, the joys of dry camping in the US and getting 5 people through the shower. Anyway, we made it to Vegas. We had a great time in Vegas. We didn't see everything we wanted to do. I know a lot of you said, are you going to go and see the Sphere? Which we did at a distance, but we didn't go there. We literally made it to Fremont Street and did that on the first night, and then up and down the Strip on the second night there. On New
And we were
Year's
still
Eve.
terribly jet lagged as well. It was the middle of the night was at some point during the morning, I think. We were all over the place and tired. There's a limit to what you can do.
I do like to walk, and at a pace, and Lindsay's knee really wasn't up to it either.
No, tendinitis is not the one.
But the gaming place that we took the boys to, it was brilliant that we went there in the Luxor, wasn't it? They loved that. They did enjoy that. But once we left Vegas, we had plans. Lindsay wanted to do a flight over the Grand Canyon. It was either going to be in a plane or in a helicopter, right?
I did.
But true Radford style, we didn't book anything. And we left on New Year's Day, and we made it to the local airport half an hour away. And they said they got no flights at all that day. So we decided to drive there. It was a long drive to get out to Grand Canyon, and I didn't get there in that one day, and it was an extra kind of hour the next day, and we got there, and we had what was the highlight of the trip. The flight over the Grand Canyon was just amazing.
Yeah.
Everyone's highlight of the trip, and you've got to do that at least once in your life. I mean, to do a helicopter flight was on the bucket list, but over the Grand Canyon, we ticked 2 boxes there.
Oh, I still love that little fact that if you drop a penny into the deepest part from the rim, it can take over 2 minutes to hit the bottom. Best thing ever.
So wanting to get to warmer climates, we left there, and I just put San Diego in the sat-nav, and we carried on our journey. And we came to Prescott, which it seems Prescott's got quite the history.
I really loved driving through Prescott. It was really pretty. It was like stepping back in time to Back to the Future 3 and the Wild West frontier. At the time, it was right at the forefront of the silver and gold rush, so you can imagine all the history and the fights and things going on at the time.
Prescott, Arizona was a really pretty little town to drive through. It was really oldie worldy. We saw going in that there's a historic centre. So we drove up the main road, and they've got wooden houses, things that you'd see in Western kind of movies. Very cute. And this road coming out is a wiggly one, so Steve's very happy.
Well, I just put in San Diego from Prescott, Arizona, and it says it's going to take 6.5 hours. What a road to drive. It's quite narrow though, and in this big bus, it's a little bit tricky when there's cars coming the other way. I wish I was in my van driving this, or in a sports car or something, but what a road to drive through the mountains.
Travelling with teenagers is brilliant. They're singing beautifully, very, very beautifully. Tell you what else is beautiful? The route we're on. We are finding some really cool little towns. It's like the Wild West up here. It's fantastic.
So we've pulled over by the side of the road, and Lindsay's knocking up some ramen for lunch for the boys. But I'm going to show you the view out here in a minute. And this is what the road tripping is all about. This is what we love about hiring an RV and doing a road trip anywhere, especially in America. You can hear she's got the generator going, but look at the view. Fantastic. Look at that. RV's just here. That beautiful view for lunch over there. Look. It doesn't get much better than this. And the boys are finishing up lunch with a little bit of ice cream for all dessert. But look, you can use this RV just fine with the slides in. This road is absolutely amazing to drive. Even this thing is wallowing around a bit, but it's fantastic. I found one of the best driving roads here. It's the 89 going southwest. And I know some of our viewers and subscribers don't like to holiday like we do. They prefer to book into campsites for a week or so, and we're fine with that. That's absolutely great. But for us, it's all about the road trip. It's all about being able to just pull over with a view and have some lunch.
Actually, no, it's not. It's about the balance of the two types of holiday. I enjoy the road trip, but I also enjoy kicking back and being in one area and exploring an area.
Now, the amount of RVs and RV parks we saw, especially in Arizona, was insane. I mean, it was ridiculous. There was one after another. And it's now making sense, because I did get one of the subscribers get in touch and say that it's very popular in Arizona for the snowbirds to come down from the north, as it was in Florida, and to spend the winter in RV parks in Arizona. So that makes sense now why we saw so many RV parks in Arizona. And some of them 40-foot diesel pushers and them huge fifth wheels were just amazing. The roads are bigger in America, but when the rigs are that big, you need big roads for it as well. And on many of the sites, they have pull-through pitches for the big rigs, so you don't have to be reversing them in. You literally pull in and then pull out forwards, which is really handy.
Okay, I've got a dilemma. Do we go with the thinner summer cushions that I've not taken out this year, or move over to the winter duvets, because we're only in February? But if we stick with the lower ones, we can use the diesel heater.
Right, I was thinking that. We're going to try our diesel heater out for the first time.
I know.
Right, and we can't wait to share that with you in the first vlog of travelling in this.
Yeah. I'm thinking thinner because I get quite hot at the moment.
Hot stuff, my love.
Yeah. I do love the fact that we've got all our own stuff in this van. When we go away, it is very much having a home away from home. And that's one of the things I missed about in the US. We didn't buy the full kitchen package, so I didn't have knives and pans and an opportunity to cook very much. And I love cooking. But what I missed most, there were two things I missed most. One was a toaster. We need a toaster. It's a given going forwards. The other thing is our own bedding.
Right.
I love having a duvet. I like snuggling up under a duvet, and with these rubbish thin brown blankets. There's a lot of brown in US RVs.
But she didn't stop going on about the bloody toaster.
No, I didn't.
So I think if we were full-time in the US, a truck and a fifth wheel might be the perfect solution for us. But for us to go over there and holiday for maybe 8, 10, 12 weeks a year on several different trips, you've seen the kind of holidaying we like doing, the road trips, 1 night here, 2 nights there. I think maybe something like what we got, something smaller, or even one of them truck campers. We love the Earth Roamers. I don't know if you've seen them Earth Roamers, but they are $1 million for the top ones of them. So you can always dream.
We haven't got $1 million.
No.
Despite what Google seems to think.
So I'd love, if it's just Linz and I would love one of them truck campers with the slide outs on the back. They are fantastic. So our plans to buy an RV in the US, not this year. This year we're going to carry on traveling Europe, and doing all the other countries we haven't done in Europe. But the plan is, and it's may change, the current plan is to go over to the States next year, possibly Easter, and buy an RV over there. And then be able to do some European, some UK, and some American road trips and some videos for you guys. Yeah, we want to be able to fly out there like Travel Beans do. They've got an RV out there, and they've got their van here, and that'll be great to do. And also we can go down into Baja and explore Mexico, and possibly then into Canada as well. And that'll give us a lot more freedom, wouldn't it?
I love the idea that you've just referenced Travel Beans, and I feel like I could be their baby's grandma or something. It's really funny because we've been there and done that. We've travelled with tiny babies all the way through the running toddler stage to the grumpy teenage stage. I think at the moment we're through the grumpy teenage stage on 2 counts, and then we're about to go in it on the 3rd one.
And they're going through what we went through 18 years ago right now, aren't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good fun.
Oh.
But another question keeps coming up. What did we use? Did we use an app to find our park ups, our dump stations, our freshwater taps? And I did mention it in a video, but yes, we used iOverland. It's free. It's an app you can download on Android and iPhone, I believe, and that found us all our stops. It's a bit like our Park for Night app that we have in the UK. So good old iOverland did it again. Lindsay jumped on and found me this dump station here, which is at an RV park. $15 to dump and to fill. Got a brand new hose as well, and gloves this time. I know a lot of you last time from our Florida series were like, why are you doing that and we're not wearing gloves, Steve? Well, I got a glove today. Right, that's the hose fixed on. They're never that long, these hoses. Just about. Why are they never long enough? Right. If you remember from last year's Florida trip, it's the black first.
Now. Whoa!
Okay.
Trish and Mark from Keep Your Daydream recommend doing a little bit of the the grey first, to make sure it's all in place, and then the black, and then the blue.
Oh, there you go then.
Again.
There's a little bit of the grey first.
Yeah.
And then slow the black down. I think I tried to do too much. Now, I guess we'll close the black, and now open the grey and rinse that through.
There was a man who was here before us who looked like a proper cowboy. He had jeans, he had a red flannel shirt, and he had a cowboy hat. And then he swished all around with the hose.
Voila, all done. I'll give a little jet wash around here now with a hose, and we'll be good. But tanks are empty. We can now have showers tonight. I prefer our cassette toilets. To me, they're a lot more convenient, and we have a spare in the garage as well. But I guess I'm old, I'm stuck in my ways. Maybe I change my mind when I have an RV in the US, and we've got all the things, including a longer bloody hose to drop the grey and the black. But what do you think, Linz? RV tanks or cassette toilets?
Because I don't empty either, because, I don't. I do all the cooking. I prefer the tank, I think, because actually we get longer between having to pump out.
As I've mentioned previously, the roads are much bigger in America, but when you're driving a big rig like we did, they are the right size. And I did find it tricky at night, especially on not very well lit roads with my eyes the way they are. I did find it hard to keep the RV between the lines. But a few of you said, did Lindsay not fancy doing some of the driving? Now, she was insured. Did you not fancy doing any of the driving, love?
Not really. I don't actually enjoy driving very much, and I know you do. And the day that we did discuss it, I was feeling pretty rough as well.
So yeah, it does get boring driving the freeways, I think, driving the motorways and what have you. I love driving like that country road from Prescott through the hills and the mountains. That's exciting. But just to drive the freeways, I find that pretty boring, and I have to stop every couple of hours.
We've been driving through some rain, but don't worry, ahead there is some blue sky. Blue sky!
So it's been a big driving day today, and I've enjoyed most of it. But getting back onto the main motorway, the main freeway, is being a bit boring, and the weather's been terrible. So we are just kicking back now and resting for a little while. But I want to show you. You think this RV is big? Check it out in comparison to these trucks here.
So the back of the RV is pretty level with the truck there. But look how long that truck is. It's huge.
Much bigger than this. I think this is 33 feet. That's it. So we eventually made it to San Diego after a long drive from Grand Canyon and to the warmer weather. And I think it was a godsend. The Sunset Beach, Fiesta Island wasn't campable because of the covenants they put in place. No camping between 2 and 4 in the morning. They fine you for that there now. And I think it was a godsend because we wasn't feeling very well. So we went to Campland on the Bay, I think, and we just flaked out, or certainly Lindsay did to start off with. I just was determined to get the video edited and uploaded for you guys, which I'm sure you saw on the vlog there. It was hard work. I got it edited and uploaded, and then I flaked out myself the next day. Now, we wanted to discover more of San Diego, and we wanted to drive the Pacific Coast Highway up Orange County, Huntington Beach, and take in that area a bit more. So we're going to have to come back and do it again, possibly in our own rig next time. But yeah, and then we made it up to Morrow Campground, as I'm sure you're aware, and then we dropped the RV off and got a deposit back.
Everyone's always obsessed with how much we spend on these trips, so we want to share those details with you.
Right, you're always asking us to keep a note, and we don't normally, but we've added up what we can. How much for the flights? We covered this in a video on our Steve and Lynn's channel, and I'll put a link to that below. And we flew with Virgin. We always like to fly with Virgin.
Yep, and we flew economy light, so chest with hand luggage, which was all we really needed, apart from maybe some thicker blankets.
And it was £1,318 for the 5 of us.
Which worked out about £263 per person, which is an absolute bargain. And it's that cheap because we went to LA versus any of the other US. I would say only New York is the only other cheap one that you can get to. It's a real hub and good to get into.
Return flights to LA, fantastic. Next up, RV rental and insurance. Now the total cost of the RV rental, £2,135, and that included the basic bedding, personal kit, plates, bowls, knives, forks, etc. It did not include a kitchen kit.
Or a toaster.
Which she keeps going on about. A toaster I think was $6. We should have got the toaster. Fair play. The kitchen kit I think would have added $250. You know, we were going to eat out a lot. We're on holiday. It was 12 days, and I figured if we were going to eat in, it would be sandwiches, it would be soup, it would be ramen. So I didn't want to pay $250 for a couple of saucepans and whatever you give you in that. But I did have to go into Walmart and buy 1 saucepan and 1 sharp knife for about $10. So
yeah. We spent about $400 in Walmart. Bearing in mind we have 2 full-size teenagers and a George-sized tweenager, so they need feeding every 2 hours. So we've got to have lots of food and snacks in there.
And we should have bought a corkscrew and a can opener too. Right. Now, there was also a $1,500 security deposit for the RV, which was unexpected for us, but Lindsay must have missed that. I'm sure they put that on the paperwork. But yeah, that was a surprise. They swiped $1,500 on my card, but then returned it when we'd returned it up.
I probably wasn't a surprise, I just wasn't
Wasn't
paying
reading
attention.
properly.
Yeah, I was too excited.
Now, we covered 1,300 miles in 11 days. And that cost us £535, which is $675. And the RV did just 7.6 miles per gallon, which is way less than the 23, 24 miles per gallon we get out of this thing. And a lot of you said as well, would we like to get an RV like that? I bet you want to swap your RV for that. Absolutely no way.
Not here in Europe. This is our van for Europe. I love this one.
Right, and the setup we've got with 950 of solar on the roof, we've got 960 of lithium, all the electrics, the aircon.
If we could magically put slides in this, oh yeah, it'd be
This
up
would
to
be
that, but
perfect.
No,
This is the right size for the UK and Europe,
for the 5 of us.
for the 5 of us. So, right, cost of accommodation. Now, the first night at Motel 6 was 72 per room, so 144 for that. And we stayed at Cracker Barrels for free, but always spent some money in the Cracker Barrels. Either we went in for breakfast or spent some money in the shop. And we stayed at Campland on the Bay for 3 nights, which was £180. And Morrow Campground on the last night, which was £65. So total cost of accommodation was just £389.
Bargain.
Absolutely.
But that also included 2 or 3 nights in Vegas.
That was, we were 2 nights Vegas,
2 nights Vegas.
free camping in the car park in the back of the Circus.
Yep, 3 nights at Campland, that's 5. 1 night at Morrow, 6. So 6 nights of free camping at Cracker Barrel.
So the total cost of the RV brings that accommodation down when you're doing dry camping like that. It really does.
And you get your mix.
Okay, the big one was the helicopter flight. That was the big cost. Now, $349 per person. I think it was $649 if we was going to do it from Vegas. Per person, but it cost us £1,384 in total. But it was the highlight of everyone's trip. That was,
And it is definitely worth considering whether you want to save 2 days of just driving, because it were long driving days, and the days are quite short because it's dark early, versus saving some money and driving there. It's a choice. It's a decision.
Our afternoon visit on the USS Midway in San Diego was £115. And that was well worth it. We enjoyed that, didn't we?
Yep, and George was a child for that, so that was good value.
Wish we'd done more in San Diego, to be honest with you. And everyone we spoke to loves San Diego, and we get that. Right, listen, I just want to save a bit to talk about video titles and thumbnails now. We're nearly at the end. Like this one that we've just created. We would like to create intrigue in our video titles and thumbnails. For you guys, we can just put a blank square and call it video 1, video 2, and I'm sure you will watch it. But to bring new people on board, to try and get new subscribers on board, we try to create intrigue, but not drama in our titles.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there's a lot of, what's the word, negativity towards people who add drama to every single vlog title and maybe don't deliver on that. Intrigue is different, and we get told off sometimes because people think we don't deliver on the intrigue, and we'd like to beg to differ. We think we do.
While we're on it, comments. Let's discuss comments, because we do get negative comments. We love you guys commenting in the videos, and we read every single comment. But the negative comments, we just block people now. We was putting up with them before unless they were attacking us. But if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. So we'll just block you. And Lindsay likes that, because you can still watch the video, you can still comment.
People think they're still commenting, but guess what? They're just shouting into the void because nobody else can see their comments being blocked.
So be nice in the comments, that's all. Be nice and do
These
comment.
people are. If they've got to this point, then
Right.
they're nice. They're already people. And what we've realised is about 50% of the people who've reached this point aren't actually subscribers to the channel.
Right.
So if you are watching this point and you are enjoying the kind of travel that we do, and we have got some cracking trips coming up this year,
Right.
then please consider giving us a little subscribe.
And hit the thumbs up button as well. But this year, we're going to go on the biggest road trip adventure we've ever been on.